Let's call a spade a spade. We are now descending into fascism. But Trump's crackdown on Portland shows his wretched talent for making everything worse. With his poll number sagging, the fake President Donald Trump has descended into desperation to prove he is the fake law and order the law and order to prove that he is the law and order fake president because he doesn't care about the law and order anyway. He ordered camouflage non-insignia bearing uniformed federal stormtroopers to descend onto Portland to wreak havoc and provoke protesters. Innocent people were abducted and forced into unmarked vehicles that were not informed of the charges by the arrested troops, who refused to identify themselves. The desired effect was achieved. Protesters were outraged, and violence initiated by the troops was answered in return by some in the crowd. Then the fake president pointed to the protesters, but telling the country that we would not be safe if we elect Biden. We're not even safe. We're not even safe with Trump. So it's like, and we've seen this before, with Benito Mussolini in Italy, Adolf Hitler in Nazi Germany, Augusto Pinochet in Chile, and so on. The actions of these troops are a gross abuse of our civil rights and a violation of the Constitution. This wholesale thuggery must cease if our democracy is to survive this tyrannical leader. I am old enough, even though I am old enough to remember stories about Hitler anyways, when he sent his jackbooted thugs out on what became known as the Kristallnacht, or Kristallnacht, I don't know if I'm saying that right. The world watched in horror as Jews were dragged into the streets and beaten to death. Or beaten, well, yeah, but they were sentenced to death anyway with the gas chamber things and everything. Hitler's purpose was to create chaos and discrimination, to flex the muscles of the right-wing fascists who made up his base, and to stay in power. And now the White House is doing something similar, sending out specialized federal units to wreak havoc and create chaos and discrimination and flexing the muscles of Trump's white supremacist base. It is unspeakable that this travesty is allowed to remain. First, he came for the immigrants from Mexico. Then he came for refugees from the Middle East and Central America. Now he's coming for cities with democratic leadership, whose freedoms will come under attack next. Destroying property is not a peaceful protest; it is rioting. If anything, the federal government has held back its response to the rioting in Portland and other cities where there is no longer civil discourse. I support the right to peacefully assemble, but not to destroy people and property. As a U.S. citizen, I am tired and disgusted with the coddling of these rioters by local politicians. Appeasement never works. It is seen as a weakness by anarchists. Remember, feeding the tiger never works because the tiger eventually comes for you. Trump's use of unmarked federal troops is a truly extreme version of an old tactic, using provocators to agitate protesters, provoke violent reactions, justify arrest, and generate negative impressions of the protesters resisting brutally. This cynical deployment of the U.S. agents or provocateurs could be turned around if people kept their cool, stayed upbeat, or at least calm, and conducted sober and serious organized nonviolent civil disobedience to real, rather than combat the brutality. This would take discipline, bravery, and sacrifice, something that 45 doesn't understand. Incredibly, under this fake president, we now see the deployment of federal agents in American cities not to quell social unrest, but to create it. This is a page borrowed from the playbook of some ugly historical figures. Don't think it will stop here, for the next page requires that the police remain. Let the danger return. What if the anarchists come back? And we can't have that. Finally, true to the playbook, this fear by proxy must be continued right through any election day. But yep, that is true. So if you like the video, give the video a like and subscribe to my channel, Ryan Van Wyk, and also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when the video comes out, and thanks for listening.